Okay, so just a fair, like, I guess, disclaimer, but I wasn't originally going to make a video about this because I really didn't want to, bring more light on the situation that there already was, because there's already, like, bigger names talking about it, and a lot of people were just covering it, and it was already too big than it should be, because, this entire ordeal in general is just, it's just nuts. And, like, I was, after, like, the initial, of course, shitstorm that followed throughout the initial, the, I guess, ground zero, I was like, okay, it's gonna be like that, it's gonna be done and over with. But no, the big brains of people that we seem to have running around here are seemingly able to make me even more hopeless for humanity as a whole. So, hey, what's going on, guys? SnivyPootis here. Welcome back to the video. Now, this is not what I imagined for a video of me that I was going to be making as my next YouTube video. I know I haven't been uploading a lot more as I used to be, but that's just because there hasn't really been a lot to talk about. But this is definitely something worth talking about now. Again, I wasn't wanting to make a video about this because I would normally like to keep my videos more open-ended and positive, and more just at least somewhat in the middle, where it's not overly like negative and doom and gloom, and it's not too upbeat and chipper and like everything sunshine rainbows type shit. But like, this is beyond all that, and I feel like if I didn't talk about this, then I would feel like I never got to at least say my thoughts on the whole ordeal. So we're gonna start from the top, and I was going to script this as well, but I figured that I might as well just do this raw. So if I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about or what I want to say, it's because I don't. But I always tend to get my thoughts out better when I just say it as I want to say it, rather than just try to write it all down at once. Because I know that scripting is a good thing, but I digress. Off topic. Anyway, so we're gonna start from the top. So for those who were living under a rock for the past week, or just aren't on Twitter or Blue Sky, or just don't generally keep up with 14 related news or anything like that, but even then, like, I feel like it's super hard. Like, if you play 14 a lot and you play it every now and then, I feel like that even then, I feel like that you can definitely have heard of it, maybe in a whisper or something like that. But again, in case you haven't, and for some reason you don't already know about this whole situation, I don't remember the exact day, but I think I want to say something around 4 to 6 days ago, if not a little bit sooner or earlier. Square Enix decided, well, not really Square Enix, but more or less the 14 dev team took a stab at Mayor Synchronos, which was a very, very popular, I don't want to say specific words, but you know what it is. It was a very popular thing amongst the 14 community, especially for like if you were a nightclub enjoyer, like in-game, I want to say an in-game club enjoyer, or just love social gatherings, or you were just wanting to use it for personal reasons, for hanging out with people that you know and love, and all that good stuff. It was very, very, very big. It was probably like one of the defining things. It was like the three pillars of 14's social aspect that really kept the game going throughout all the content drop. And I feel like not many people can disagree with me on that one. Either way, yeah, very big thing, and it had been running since Endwalker days, so about 3 years now. And around again 4 to 5 days ago, it got officially a C&D from the 14 team, and again, for those who know what C&D is, cease and desist. But they got a cease and desist. The owner of the I almost said the thing. The owner of the thing of Mayor got a cease and desist from the 14 dev team, and then the whole thing got shut down just like that. It was pretty quick. It didn't really have like a huge send-off. There was a send-off, of course, but like it was, it was up and then it was down. It wasn't even like a whole like I want to say 10 hours before the servers it got shut down for good. And you know, that was, which surprised me a bit, but either way, I digress. So yeah, it got shut down finally, and you know, there was a lot of speculation about why exactly. Some people to say that it wasn't actually any cease and desist at all. Some people say that it was because of all the people talking about it too much. But you know, that I don't want to come here to debate as to why it got shut down or point blame or anything like that, because they specifically said not to do that, and I don't really have the patience or time to really speculate on that type of thing. What I'm here to talk about is the aftermath. The aftermath is where it really gets bad, because you know, of course, there's already going to be videos from other people again about the situation. Some people blowing it out of proportion way more than we need to be, but again, moot point. But what really got me started to raising an eyebrow is people making a petition about this shit, just trying to reason what's great. Like, you know, of course everyone has, you know, the right to make a petition. That is a given right. I mean, that doesn't really apply to Japanese law, but this is a, you know, it was written in their terms of service, so of course they have a right to act on it. But you know, people thought it was a good idea was be like, okay, we're gonna make a petition to bring it back. You know, even if that worked, which it wouldn't have, it never will. Even if it did work by some, I don't know, Disney level miracle, I don't think it would last very long even then, because of just how it was. Because too many people were very brazen about it, and they fucked around and found out. That is the little definition of this entire. Like, you could sum up this entire ordeal with that simple phrase: they fucked around and they found out. Because you never want to, you know, flirt with the line with that type of shit, because you never know whenever they're eventually just gonna come sock you in the face with a sucker punch, and all of a sudden all that bravado and all that, you know, just cluelessness eventually like kicks your ass, and that's what happened here. But again, that's a whole other can of worms. But either way, yeah, petition didn't go through, and then the, you know, like the second thing was the review bombing of the game, because the game went from I think it was mostly positive or very positive or overwhelming positive. I mean, Dawn Trail in general never really had a great review you know, spreadsheet, but the game overall, 14 overall, always had a pretty high up there review. But they decided, hey, you know, since they're gonna do that, we're gonna review bomb the game and make it go from like, I think it was like very positive or whatever to mixed. And I don't think it's in the negatives yet as of right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was pretty close to that, if not down there by now. But yeah, I never really understood the idea behind review bombing, because I always feel like it was just kind of like a dumb move. Because in my opinion, in the 14th case, for sure, you're just denying the chance for people who don't care about all that type of stuff to want to play the game, because they're gonna see the game has like a negative review score. Because like not a lot of people look at reviews and stuff anyway for you know, wanting to determine if they want to get a game or anything like that. But some people still do. Some people still look at review scores and Metacritic, whatever the hell, and Steam reviews especially, and go, oh, this game has like a really bad review rating right now, so probably not worth getting into at the moment, so they don't get it. And then all of a sudden, then you have overall less player base, because you're I mean, again, I know it's the point of review bombing is to try and like cost the money, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get back at them because they're review bombing their game by making sure that many people don't buy the game now. But in turn, you're hurting the people who don't care about all this stuff and want to play the game, because you're making queues take longer. You're gonna make, you know, PFs take longer to fill, and the overall quality of players is gonna drop, because all the people who don't want anything to do with it are just gonna drop the game. And then all of a sudden you're hurting the game that you supposedly loved, and also hurting the people that don't care about all this stuff and just want to play the game and, you know, hang out with their friends, have a good time, all that good stuff, and have nothing to do with it. Because, you know, but they don't care. The only thing that they want is to stick it to the man and to try and get some sort of a payback for the company doing the thing that the company said that they could do, and people thought they never would do, and they did. So I never really understood review bombing as a practice. I don't think it's ever really done anything for any game that got review bombed, like Overwatch 2, Mario Kart World, to name 2 more. I think Destiny got review bombed at one point too, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't. I think review bombing in general is kind of a waste of time, in my opinion. But that's again another moot point. But either way, yeah. So that didn't work, and I don't know if I wouldn't be surprised if people still are doing it just because. But either way, when that didn't go through, you know, then people really started to like just throw all sorts of shit towards the dev team's way, even to the point where Yoshi P himself decided to write a public statement about the whole thing, and you know that it's gotten really bad and really big whenever he decides to make an extended statement on the whole thing, from people, you know, from the sheer amount of backlash. Because I mean, of course people are going to do that, but like it really just boggles my mind that people think this is something that's gonna end well. Because not only are you, because like you already fight a losing battle, you're not getting it back. That's not happening. It's dead and done. Like the fact that it even existed for as long as it did is honestly astounding to think about. But you know, you have to realize the fact that okay, they finally caught up and they finally hit the nail on the head, and it's gone for good. You have to kind of accept that and move on. But they can't, because they think that they're gonna, because like again, even if they got through to them, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna go up to the dev and go like, yo, we're sorry, we didn't mean to sue you, could you please put it back up and maintain it, and we'll just go our separate ways? Like they didn't want to do that. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the dev themselves didn't want to, because like honestly, for those who did use it, they like sorry, I cannot get my words up, but the devs themselves that got so much fucking, you know, backlash and so much hate from random people for bad unrealistic reasons, for so many reasons. And it's like the devs themselves was a great person, and they always tried their best to make sure their service was maintained and as safe as it can be given the context of what you're doing when you use it. But you know, some people don't understand that, and they, you know, as always, they decide to send death threats to the people who are working on making a service for them for free. That you know, because you know they don't have to get this to the public. They didn't have to do any of that, but they did it anyway because they wanted to be a contributor to the community. And you know, people decide to do that by going like, oh, where is it, why can't I access it right now, when is it going to be up, blah blah blah. Like, it's so heinous, and I really do not understand why people insist on acting like they have no brain cells when stuff like this happens. But anyway, and yeah, so there's that. And as time went on, a couple days down the road, several you know, clones started coming out of the woodwork left and right. Some sloppier than others, some downright devious. You know, if you are in the scene, you probably know what some of the ones I'm referring to, but I'm not going to get into the specifics right now. But anyway, yeah, a lot of clones coming out, and of course people are flocking to it. And the worst part, the thing that really got me fucking scratching my head, is that people decided to do the same thing again by just being so blatant about saying, hey, I got this new thing now, if you want to if you don't want to give me your horse code, then feel free to send it to me. Or like, oh, or putting a search info and stuff. Like, if that's I'm not gonna say that it was the defining thing, because again, I didn't want to speculate, but I feel like that if you have a okay, so let me try and paint a picture to make a bit more sense. But okay, say so you're like in this gym or something, right? This like gym that you go to every day, and you know you have a lot of friends who do as well. Pretty big gym, very frequent people go there, and at this gym there's this sort of group of people that you're involved with who likes to go back and grab an extra pair of like towels or something to bring home, because you know they're really soft towels and you like the towels or something. And you're not supposed to bring the towels because they're gym property and they're owned by the gym, but you know you have this whole like organization of people who take towels and replace them with cheap ones that look alike to trick them into thinking that their towels never left. And you know you had this gig going on for a while, and you got yourself a pretty good set of towels across all your friends, and you know you're getting the special ones when they bid them out, so festive ones, whatever. And after a while, one of the friends posts on Facebook or something, or Instagram or Twitter, saying like, "Oh my God, look at this sick ass towel I got, feeling fresh." And then they have a picture of them near the gym or walking out of the gym with a towel. And then lo and behold, the gym owners see that and they decide, okay, we can't let this go on anymore, and the whole thing crumbles down because of that. And now all of a sudden you find this new gym, and they have even better towels, or they have the same towels that are like the ones that you had before, but they maybe have nice colors, whatever. And then the whole thing starts over again. But then someone decides that same person goes and posts another video of them walking out of the gym with a towel, or having the towel at their house, and saying how good it feels on their hair or whatever. And then all of a sudden you repeat the whole thing over. Like, you're basically like, you had a good thing going, you know exactly what you had to do to make sure that it kept going, even though you knew that if you ever got found out, that it would immediately get shut down and you'd be in trouble for it. But instead you decide to keep advertising it and making it even more public than it needs to be, until the point where you basically have this entire system, and it's just fucking wild, man. It really is just so bonkers that people think this is actually feasible. And now we have again all these clones coming out, and all these people like setting death threats to people and all this. It's just kind of so crazy. So what am I trying to say with all this? Yeah, while I cannot say that I am big on all this stuff myself, I really do think that stuff like this is okay. Even in the statement, it's like, it's okay as long as you don't try and link it to the game itself at all. Because once you start showing obvious signs that it's linked to the game that you're editing and using all that stuff from, then that becomes a bit of a more of a problem. But as long as you're not doing any of that, then you're all good, and you really shouldn't be worrying about any of it. But of course people can't do that because Twitter clout waits for no one. But either way, biggest takeaway is just be good people and don't attack people for exercising the very thing that they said they can do in their TOS. And also don't go after regular people who are just trying to provide you a service for free, especially if you have no leg to stand on to even be sending death threats and shit. It's not cool. Don't do that. I shouldn't have to tell you to not do that, but don't do that. But that's all I really got to say about it. And I know this is a bit of a garbled mess of a video in terms of structure and all that stuff, but I really just wanted to get my thoughts onto paper, or at least out there, so that I can say that I had a sort of I had a opinion out before things really started to die down, which I honestly don't think they will anytime soon, which is honestly more concerning because I just want this to not be as big of a deal as it is, but here we are. Anyway, that's all I got from me, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.